Just want to welcome everybody to the Research of Attraction. Tanya and I've been talking about this for a while, and we are really excited that you're here. My name is Wendy Hill. I
Are
help
we
Tanya with
muting
her.
everybody now?
I think
Are
everybody
we
is
going to
muted now.
mute
Yes.
everyone out? Yeah. Good.
Yes, everybody's muted. And so I've been working with Tanya for a while. I've had a marketing company here in Greenville for 15 years and working with small, medium businesses with their marketing plans and executing their marketing plans. A little bit about Tanya. I'm sure most people here know a little bit about her. Tanya has been a life and relationship coach for 20 years. She's an author and a columnist and a coach, and she specializes in working with singles. Her newspaper column that she had, Savvy Dating, reached 4 million people per week when it was in syndication and won 3 Matrix Awards. She has an MA in human development, and she started her career working as an educator and traveled all over the world. And almost 20 years ago, Tanya literally lost her voice and had to reinvent herself and went back to school and became a life and relationship coach. And she's been working with singles and people mainly over 40 who've wanted to reinvent themselves and get the life that they want. So over the years, Tanya has collected a ton of research, and tonight she's going to share her statistics on the research of attraction. So I have questions from several of you, and I'll present those to Tanya at the end. If you have questions, go to the chat box and submit a question, because we're going to try to keep this with just Tanya talking and answering the questions. So with that, I'll turn it over to Tanya.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that you came. And as I was gathering up my papers for tonight, I found that I had little pieces of paper everywhere about attraction. I had it on the dining room table. I've been writing my book, my latest book, and I had it in my office. And it's like I never can pull it all together because there's always more coming out. But attraction is made up of a lot of different qualities. And I thought probably the main one is confidence. And if you've ever been to a gathering and you see people gather around one particular woman or one particular man, and you think, what do they have? They have one thing specifically, and that's confidence. They have a lot of personal charm and a lot of confidence. And some people say, well, how do you get that? And essentially, what you think about yourself, you telegraph to others and to the world, and then they telegraph it right back to you. And I would say that the way that you gather that is by being successful at what you do and in a lot of other areas. But if you're out with people, you want to watch your thoughts and not let them become negative, because when you're thinking negatively, when you're making judgmental calls in your mind, you're going to get judgment right back at you. But what are some of the things that we can control immediately about attracting others? And some of the research is rather fascinating. And I was telling Wendy that there's some interesting studies on, for instance, lipstick studies. And there was one study, several studies in particular. Most men will say to me that I've coached, oh, I like women who don't wear lipstick, but research doesn't bear that out. So some studies where women were wearing red, pink, brown, and no lipstick were sent out to different parts of the city at different times, and every single time the women wearing red lipstick got twice as many dates as the other women. Absolutely every time. And women wearing red dresses, red blouses, red shoes, even a red computer case attracted men to them. So the red lipstick study I found fascinating. And there was a Pew Research study that women said wearing lipstick made them feel better. So I thought that was fascinating. The other one that is interesting is posture. And the posture studies are so terrific because posture we can control. And the slouching posture versus the straight posture. And there was another interesting study about postural expansion. How much room does your body take up when you're standing or sitting? And the people who let their posture essentially expand instead of caving in on themselves, those people who sat up straight and had postural expansion got the job twice as often in a job interview as people who didn't. But when it came to dating, the speed dating studies, the people who sat up straight got asked out, and the people who slumped did not. Slumping and slouching reminds people of depression, grief, sadness, and sitting up straight actually makes you feel better and helps you think more clearly. So the posture studies were fascinating, but the most interesting study of all that I ever saw was one done in New York, where they had a certain demographic of men, and they broke that group into two parts. And they went into a Broadway theater, and they had an actress walk. It was at lunchtime, and they had this little study they were doing. They had an actress walk across the stage, and she hunched her shoulders, and she walked across the stage, and then they asked this group of men, they were stockbrokers, lawyers, businessmen, CEOs, would you date that woman? 98% of them said no. One man said, no, she's probably married. She was walking like that. Then they brought the other half of the group in, and the same actress walked across the stage, standing up straight, wearing the same clothes. And she walked across the stage, and then they asked this new group of men, but the same demographic, would you date that woman? 95% of them said yes, they'd like to meet her. So it was all about posture. And of course, when you're standing up straight, the chest is up, the body is up, you just look better, but it has tremendous impact on what people think of you. Women look at men with poor posture and think they're not confident. And men are not attracted to women whose shoulders and chest are sagging down. Let's see if there's anything else I want to tell you about posture. In one joint research study about romantic attraction done at UC Berkeley, Stanford, University of Texas, and Northwestern, postural expansiveness, expanding the body in physical space, doubled a person's odds in getting a date. So I found that very, very interesting. Now, by the way, back to the color red, waitresses double their tips when they're wearing red. Now I'm going to go to attraction in terms of cues, body cues. And that would be eye contact. And eye contact, you don't want to stare at someone so long you make them nervous, because long, steady eye contact will make people anxious, but eye contact and then looking away and then eye contact. Whenever a woman flips her hair in any way and she's been looking at a man, that is definitely a cue that she's interested in him. I read one research study that when a man pulls his socks up, he's sending a signal that he's interested in a woman. But the women fussing with their hair, flipping their hair, and looking at men is definitely, whether they know they're doing it or not, and I have watched people do this, the woman's completely unaware she's messing with her hair, flipping her hair, completely unaware. And the guy's picking up on the cue. And so another one is that she looks and then she looks away, and then she looks again, and then she looks away. And they're starting the interaction, the thread, as to whether they're going to connect with each other. There have been research studies done. This one is by Helen Fisher, has done quite a bit of research. I think she's at Yale, on being attracted to how someone smells. So of course, you would have to meet the person to know how they smell. But you know, when we meet someone, we make a decision almost in a split second. So this is including online, swiping or meeting someone out in a crowd. You make a decision in a split second, and that's why the posture, the red lipstick, the standing up straight, the eye contact, the confidence that you exude, all that comes across. Boom, boom, just like that. So that's what you want to be aware of. Now, universally, and these are some things we can't control, universally, a man is attracted to a woman with an hourglass shape, and a woman is attracted to a guy with a wedge shape. So if you want to work out and work on that, that's fine. But these other qualities, you can control. What color you're wearing, standing up straight, being friendly. Here's another one, that if you get in a conversation with someone and you're having a conversation, you ask questions, you listen. But this is the one that there are 2 points here I want to make. If a woman asks a guy for some help, could you hold my jacket while I carry these 2 drinks over to my friends? Something that simple. Guys like to help. Or could you hold this door open while I carry this tray in? You've got his attention. And so asking someone for help. I had one other point to make and I just lost it. I forgot what it was. I'll come back to it. Sorry. And as you're talking to them, you notice, but you don't say, what really pretty eyes they have. Or you like that jacket they're wearing. Or, you know, you like that, the color, how the color of their eyes match their shirt or something. You notice something about them, but you just don't say it. Now you're going to start to be brave enough to say it because it's the truth and you were thinking it. And so it's very genuine acknowledgement of someone. Now, they might feel a little uncomfortable because sometimes people don't know how to accept. They go, oh no, no, I'm too this or that. That's okay. You can still be grown up enough to give them a compliment and let them be a little uncomfortable, but that is very, very powerful message that you're sending, which says, I see you and I see something very nice about you, and I care enough to tell you about it. And that's an extremely attractive quality if you can do that. There was a fascinating study, another one that was done in New York, where they sent out a couple of very plain looking girls to stand at these different newsstands and give men compliments, and almost every single one, the man would turn around, would you like to go have a drink? Because the girl gave him a simple compliment. I really like that jacket you're wearing today. What? Plain brown jacket. So compliments work. You want to be careful how you use them because they really, really work. All right, I have so much material here. I'm going to stop for a minute, Wendy, and ask you if there's anything you want to ask me.
A question that we got, this one's pretty interesting. What
Wait,
if I really don't have confidence?
Say that again.
What if I don't really have confidence? Do I date?
What if you don't have confidence? You know, one of the ways that you get confidence is practice in going out. You know, it's kind of like getting your dating muscles, getting your dating legs under you, going out and dating. You know, maybe you're not in love with these guys, but they're kind of like friends, and you get dressed up and you go out and you practice talking and you practice giving them a genuine compliment and just watch the response. You'll just be amazed. I had a client who was so shy. She wanted to meet someone. She was so shy that she just would almost cry when she looked at you. And I said, wherever you're going, she went to the gym, and I said, you're going to make eye guys and say hello every day. And she was just a wreck at the end of the week. She had so many guys asking her out because she looked at them and said hello. You're going to look at 3 guys when you go to the gym and smile and say hello. And she was like, oh my God, you know, because she wasn't used to this. So it's just a matter of looking at people and saying hello and being friendly. That alone can give you confidence interacting with people like that. All right. But this is something that we should do in a future seminar. How do you get confidence? Because there's some real bricks that you can build in your life. You don't just get it overnight. It isn't just given to you as a gift. It's something that you build yourself brick by brick, and it definitely can be done. But one of the ways is to start interacting with people, putting yourself out there, saying hello to people and being kind to people, and they'll give it right back to you. That was a good question.
Great, great, thank you. Here's one more. I met someone online and was really attracted to them. I met them and a few things they said really turned me off. Do I give them another chance or do I go with my gut?
I think that, first of all, there's so many people out there to meet, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't cut everybody a break, but if you're getting definite signals that there's something off here that's not right for you, I think you should listen to that, because there is someone wonderful out there for you. Everybody goes, oh yeah, that's so cheesy. Well, I'm sorry, but there is. There's someone wonderful out there for you. Go ahead and beat me up. I don't care. It's the truth. I know Roberta would agree with me. And so to spend time with someone who clearly is not going to be the one for you because they've already said a number of things that made you uncomfortable, gave you a window into how they think, look like they have the potential to maybe hurt your feelings. If they went any further with that, I think then I would listen. We often don't listen to ourselves enough and say, you know what, there are a lot of guys out there. There are a lot of women out there, wonderful people waiting to meet you. Maybe what he said wouldn't bother other people, but somehow it offended some core value that you have. And you could give them one more chance, but I would say I think you ought to listen to yourself.
Okay, great. Do you want to talk for just a minute about the next webinar coming up on the 15th of December? How to avoid another breakup?
How to not get another divorce. We're going to have a great webinar December 15th. And that topic is about how to find the right one, how to find and marry or be with, simply be with the right person, and that these breakups and these, mostly the divorces, came from marrying the wrong person to begin with. And we don't do that because we're stupid or we deserved it or it was fate or anything like that. It's that we didn't understand that we actually all have sort of a hidden agenda within us of definite things we can and cannot live with. And we don't really know what those things are until we get with this person and we're trying to live with them and we can't. They've just got certain deal breakers that we can't live with. And then we might invest a lot of time in trying to change them to be someone that we can love or we can be with. And that's not going to happen. People don't change that much. And so we're going to talk about, well, how do you know what what your requirements are in someone, and what your needs are, what your wants are, how to ask the power questions right away so you can find out right away, where is this person on these certain issues? So I don't spend a lot of time, I don't waste a lot of time and slowly find out that this guy is married to 3 other women, or he's a meth dealer or something like that. So those are definite deal breakers. You can't live with that. And that's what happens. We wind up with someone that we just absolutely can't live with. They don't meet our requirements, and we have a lot of heartbreak and a heartache and challenges with that.
Okay, great. So later tomorrow, we'll send out the replay to everybody if you want to
Okay.
rewatch this or share it. And we'll also put it on Tonja's YouTube channel. And then we'll send out another email about a group coaching program that she's going to start in January, a 3-month program.
Right.
And so we're excited about that. Do you have anything else that you want to add, Tonja? I think that's everything I had.
No, I just saw an article that I wrote a while back, and I thought that might be a nice little session within the seminar, how to stay cool when you've got a hot date.
Yeah, we want to do that. Definitely.
Right. So thanks all of you for coming. Thank you so much.